Pakistan again has struck Indian bases, and it has struck Indian bases all along the Indian borders. That happened last night, and it is again happening today. It means Pakistan is not willing to back down. It leaves India with little option but to expand the scope of operations. What they are not realizing is by escalation doesn't mean we will follow their template. We have multi-layered air defense system. We have fighters, we have long range missiles, we have medium range missiles, we have short range missiles. They are point defense system. But in this case, probably the long range and medium range missiles have been able to neutralize Pakistani weapons, Pakistani aircraft, as you say. Pakistan has to realize in the conventional military conflict, they will have higher attrition and they will pay higher cost. We will not follow their template. We will decide our template. We are still, every stage we are indicating to them that we don't want to escalate from this point onwards. You respond to us, we will respond to you. India has always said we have our exit policy clearly laid down. They have to, come to terms.
I'm joined by Group Captain Rajiv Kumar Narang, former member, Center for Air Power Studies. Sir, in wake of what is happening, military stations at Jammu, Pathankot, and Udhampur were targeted by Pakistani origin drones and missiles just a short while from now. This was alongside the international border in Jammu and Kashmir. What we are hearing that India's air defense systems neutralized all threats, all the drones, all the missiles were shot down, were neutralized. What can you tell us about the strength of India's air defense systems as on date?
Aditi, Pakistan, India, in conventional terms, Pakistan is not a match for India. Pakistan would prefer to go for low-cost options. But the India has made it very clear from the word go that India has only responded to certain situations and India is not in a mood to escalate. The responsibility of escalation has lied with Pakistan, and Pakistan has been provoking India again and again and increasing the scope. And the approach of Pakistan has realized is they are not resorting to a conventional armed strike in the real sense. While they have used aircraft, while they have used other means, but their preferred mean, in my view, would be the drones, missiles, artillery, terrorists, and sleeper cells. Why I say so is that these are the ones Pakistan can afford, and these are the ones they can cause more cost to India. But India, on its part, has its own drones, missiles, artillery, and counter drone systems. Pakistan's endeavor is to deplete India's high value counter drone system, but India will have multiple options to neutralize these things. Now, what is happening is when India struck 9 terrorist targets, it was expected that Pakistan will respond. Thereafter, India again struck Pakistan's critical infrastructure. It struck their radar stations in Lahore and other places. Now, that was an indication, okay, let's not unnecessarily escalate the situation. But Pakistan again has struck Indian bases, and it has struck Indian bases all along the Indian borders. Now, that happened last night, and it is again happening today. It means Pakistan is not willing to back down. Now, it leaves India with little option but to expand the scope of operations and then respond in a manner which will deter Pakistan to continue pursuing this path of attrition to India.
What does this say about Pakistan's air defense system versus ours?
Aditi, you must understand, Pakistan using a low-cost option does not mean that India doesn't have options. In fact, India has been working on drone technology for quite some time, and Indian industry has developed various types of loitering munitions, swarm drones, and many other technologies which probably will be tested now and will be demonstrated. While some of the Indian companies have collaborated with foreign companies, but there are many Indian companies who have developed Indian options, and I'm sure they will be deployed during this period. Whether they come to news or not is a separate issue, but Indian options will be in play, if I understand correctly.
What do you feel? What will it take for Pakistan to back down? Because clearly they're not getting the message that they are outsmarted here. Because normally, if they would do something, they should have at least conducted war games to understand how India would retaliate. Clearly, that's not been done.
No, no. What they are not realizing is by escalation doesn't mean we will follow their template. They are using drones. They are trying to increase area of operation. Uh, the options with India will be proportionate, but will be of our choice. How we decide. Now, this Pakistan is not realizing that if they continue to do what they are doing, the cost on them will not be proportionate in that sense. Our response will be proportionate, but the cost will be higher for them. This they have to understand. Early they understand, the better it will be for both. I think the better sense should prevail on their leadership. If they don't do that, unnecessary Pakistani people will suffer because of their high-headedness and their immaturity. Because a common people suffering because of their inconsiderate action is unfair to the common people of Pakistan. And their economy is already in doldrums. They don't have much money to even pay their debts. They don't have money for ammunition. The common people is suffering, and still they want to fight a war and escalate, and they don't realize that the war of by leading India through terrorist actions is not an acceptable norm which they have been able to get. What we must understand is when India struck there as center of, or other hub of terrorism, which probably has hurt them more emotionally rather than logically. Their logical mind is not working at this time. They are more going by emotions, which I think will be detrimental to the people of Pakistan and, of course, to Pakistan itself. Coming to India's point, I think we need to have a strategy. What we must understand is if Pakistan continues to follow this, we must, strengthen our counter drone capabilities. There are Indian entities who are probably can be improved on it. Even if we are able to inflict heavy damages on them, we should have a plan B to ensure if Pakistan has has a tenacity to prolong this operation, we keep building our capabilities while we are neutralizing them. So I think we need to understand the drone counter drone capability and offensive drone capability. We will have to really identify their strengths, targets on the drone capability, producing targets, and also strengthen our counter drone capabilities,
You know,
especially
the Indian air defense system that shot down Pakistan's F-16, GF-17 aircraft, and of course also repelled their drones. Uh, can you take us through what comprises the Indian air defense system?
we have multi-layered air defense system. We have fighters, we have long range missiles, we have medium range missiles, we have short range missiles. They are point defense system. But in this case, probably the long range and medium range missiles have been able to neutralize Pakistani weapons, Pakistani aircraft, as you say. Pakistan has to realize in the conventional military conflict, they will have a higher attrition and they will pay higher cost. That's why I think they are using mix of one odd adventure in the conventional drone and more on the lesser cost drone options like drones, missiles, artillery, and of course terrorism as a standby option. So I think India India going to expanding the scale and hitting their critical centers as as per your news, I think is an indication that we will not follow their template. We will decide our template. We are still every stage we are indicating to them that we don't want to escalate from this point onwards. You respond to us, we will respond to you. But I think a better sense has to prevail on their side. India has always said we have our exit policy clearly laid down. They have to come to terms with it.
But this time, the escalation metrics seems to have been planned out very well. Even during the Balakot strike, they hit us, we hit them, and that was the end of that. They took our Air Force pilot Abhinandan, and then we sort of got him back. But that's where it all ended. But this time around, India seems no mood to back down.
See, Aditi, I want to highlight few aspects here. Remember, this time all three services are working in unison, and Prime Minister has not only met three services, he has met individual service chiefs. I think he has understood the nuances, challenges, and limitations and strengths of each service, and services themselves have worked together as well as individually to strengthen, to utilize their individual specialties as well as collaborative capabilities. I think that probably is at the best today. What we need to remember is that this synergy is going and demonstrating India's capability to the world and to the Pakistan. I think Pakistan must realize we are still not striking them in a in a ad hoc manner. We are striking only the legitimate targets which we feel are important, and we don't want to escalate unless Pakistan does not change its course.